How we doing, everybody? I'm Jake Rosso. I'm the Director of Esports at BW.
I'm AJ Digby. I'm the Director of Esports at Mount Union.
So you're probably wondering why we are casting. No one else wanted to volunteer to cast, so we thought it'd be pretty fun for us to both kind of hop in the booth here and cast a little bit of Smash. You know, I'm not going to be the best at it, but I'm going to bring great energy and great vibes. So.
Yeah, I mean, they threw out the call asking for 2 commentators, and after the 3rd call, I turned to Jake and I was like, we're playing each other if they don't have anybody else.
Yeah.
Us? And you're like, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
So here we are, here to call Smash. So
it's going to be a lot of friendly banter for sure. So
it's going to be a fun one. I mean, 2 very strong teams and 2 teams with a little bit of a history against each other. Coming off 2 strong wins here so far, leading into the semifinals here.
Yeah, because we beat Alma 2-1 going into the first round. Gave a challenge.
Yeah.
And then CSU.
Yeah, we 2-1 CSU, won the first set, lost second, won third, and won with a crazy ending with Gear Zelda, our third, who is leading off this match. So Zelda versus Sora, we have a Sora on our team, so I know it's a matchup that they're familiar with, but I know people sometimes say that when they're against a character that they're familiar with, it's different because everybody plays against them.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was telling my team today. Like, talking about like, matchup stuff like that. Like, you got to realize who's playing and whatnot. Oh, man. It seems like the Zelda got the best of our right here.
Yeah, Zelda setting up Phantom. He was able to use the Phantom and knock. So it's really a double hit forward smash and Phantom. Yeah. No, go ahead.
So he seems to be carrying the momentum from the last match in CSU because Zelda.
Yeah. So for those who didn't get to see it because it wasn't on screen, Zelda was our Zelda came in and we were down 5-3 on stocks. And Zelda went 2-1 and then went 3-2 to close out the 2-1 against CSU. So riding the momentum and leading off here to start this one.
And it's always like both characters are pretty fast. One is trying to go again on one another. They both have to really time their attacks pretty well.
Yeah, Sora with a lot of recovery ability. Yeah, but like I said, we have Sora experience. Yeah, that's a good forward smash by Sora. We have good Sora experience, but we have a lot of experience. On our team personally, we have about 16 people as a part of the program.
Okay.
So we get a lot of varying matchup ability. Zelda takes another one there.
Yeah, so we're also probably around like the 13, 14,
yeah.
And kind of have that same thing. Like everyone plays a different character, not one character plays the same, you know? Which I think is kind of vital in like any program that you have, you know? It's like making sure that you're getting a look at a bunch of different characters so you're not just stagnant.
Yeah.
You know?
You see characters, and I feel like what I've noticed from our Smash scene is everybody's interest to get better and then help the others get better. I mean, it's like that in every game, but Smash takes it to a different level, I think, because it's so new as a like team sport. You know what I mean? Like they enjoy having the team aspect. So that's it's a good finish there to come away with 2 stocks.
No, so the games are different. So BW is the Sora player, and the Mountain Union is Zelda.
Yeah. Good point out.
Thank you, AJ. You got a commentator over here. So.
Yeah, fairly even matchup so far. Zelda took a quick one, but Sora battling back here, and percentages are also fairly even.
Yeah, it's going to be really even here. Kind of
and Sora uses the thunder through the stage.
So that's still in it.
Doesn't go good DI. Zelda.
All right, that's very good round one. Very good round one.
Yeah, 2-1 in the first round, so solid start for us by our Zelda Matt. But a really strong start by Sora too as well. I mean, especially after going down that early in the stock, you know, good mental fortitude to battle back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's always too. I'm telling my guys too is like, you know, you're never out of fight, you know, and like I feel like both teams exemplify that. Because this isn't our first matchup against each other.
No.
You know?
Yeah, we briefly mentioned it, but our teams played each other week 1, really, of GLEC regular season, as well as last week you guys played one of our teams in NECC, which is kind of a secondary league that we're a part of. And we, for that league, we split up our team into 3. So we entered 3 different teams and kind of made them fairly even. We like drafted our teams and kind of just have it basically be fairly even across the teams. So, but we played each other last week in that, and we played each other week 1. You guys took week 1 2-0, and I think you guys also took the NECC
I think it was
2-0 as well.
Was it 2-0?
I think it was 2-0.
I was not there that day, so I'm not sure. So
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, every time we play you guys, it's always a good matchup, you know? I feel like we bring out the best in each other. That's kind of what you want in competition, you know?
So, obviously not giving away spoilers because our guys aren't able to watch the stream. Who do you think is going to come out next for you?
Come out next? That's a great
Any
question,
sort
to
of
be honest with you, because usually maybe our Sephiroth player, Paul. But honestly, like, they kind of like to switch up here every night, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not going to be
Yeah.
Sephiroth player, so.
Yeah, I think both of us, we brought a pretty good contingency because we have depth and we like to bounce off ideas against each other. Different matchups play out differently, and so, hey, I'm feeling confident against this matchup. Go for it. You know, that's kind of the way that it goes when you have the depth that I feel like our two programs have had so far. So
Yeah, and I kind of feel like, too, that like it's really like a momentum-based thing, too. You know, like no matter what the matchup is at that point, like
yeah.
whoever is hot hand at that time, even going into the second or third round, like you're going to ride that hot hand no matter what because they're just something's clicking, you know?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't watch a lot of Smash, just kind of a general overview, this is a crew battle format. So each team has 3 players. Each player has 3 stocks. You play out your 3 stocks, and then when your 3 stocks are gone, then you sub in the next person against whatever's left. So here you're going to see Mount has 1 remaining stock. So our Zelda player, Matt, is going to jump off the stage twice so that he is at 1 stock versus your player. And it's going to be a 3v1 then. And so then however that ends, that's how we'll start the next round all the way until we're out of team stock. So that's how the crew battle format works. Just a quick little overview. And I think it's fun. I like the format.
It gives you a sense of team, too, you know, because it's such an individually based game that, like, when you go to your locals, you go to your weeklies, or you go to your monthlies, like, it's just you and yourself, you know?
Yeah.
But now you kind of got to strategize your matchups and see who can be the best of the best, you know?
Yep. All right, so Little Mac versus Zelda. Little Mac, a character that likes to stay grounded, try to get in close, and has very strong punch ability. Little Mac is not a character that we've faced much of or know much about, honestly. It's the fighting characters is where I feel like we're at our little bit of weakness of we don't have many. We have a Kazuya. Actually, I think we have 2 now, but that's about it. We don't really have a Ken or anything else.
Yeah, would you say that you guys, like, each one of your players has, like, 1 or 2, like, people that they're, like, they can go back and forth on, kind of, or, like, they just have 1 set person that they usually main all the time?
Most of our people, like, what I would consider, like, our general 4 like that we played with so far, they really are just 1 main character. They kind of pocket a second character, but not necessarily play. But our mid-level depth definitely does switch back and forth. Like our Kazuya plays 2 different characters. We also have another character. I don't want to give away too much.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not like our players are able to even watch the stream. Our Zelda has started off really strong, recognizing that the Little Mac wants to get in close. And every time he is in close, using the Reflect, and then also able to use Phantom and the Fire to get away. However, Little Mac with a really good 2 frame.
It was a nice zombie off the stage, too. Yeah. I'd say it would be nice if they could have kept a little bit close, keep at least 1 or 2 stocks on there, but, you know, we take what we can get, you know?
Yeah, you talk about saving stocks. I mean, saving stocks, that's arguably one of the most important things about the crew battle is you obviously want to take away stocks, but it's not just a straight up here we're playing. Like, you are trying to save as much as possible for your team, trying to live as long as possible every time. So
sometimes a 3v1 stock isn't always a guarantee that you're going to come out with 2, you know?
No,
like,
not at all.
And I think that's, too, where some, like most great Smash players that play in, like, a crew scenario kind of struggle with is that you got to realize that, like, hey, like, you still got to hype your players up, still got to get in there, and kind of realize that, hey, like, you got to give it your all every time you're out there, you know? You can't take anyone easy or lightly.
So, like you were just saying, we were down 1-3, took 2, lost our 1, but now you're in the exact same scenario where you could take 2, lose 1, and then it's a 4v3, or then it's 4 and 3 stocks left. So it's very back and forth, and it's very interesting how it plays out. So we'll see what we decide to do.
I'm going to say usually take a little intermission after each one, too, so that's why you guys get to hear our lovely voices throughout the intermission here. So
looks like we're going to roll in. Now, this is one of our characters who has 2 different characters. So it'll either be Samus or Inkling are his 2 main. And against the Little Mac matchup, I'm not really sure which one you go with. Both have ideal opportunities to approach and use range, really, because that's what you're trying to do against Little Mac.
I think maybe Samus would probably be the best against Little Mac, I believe, just because like they're both kind of close, but at least with Samus you have somewhat of the range, you know, and kind of punish you up close and from a distance as well too.
I also don't know for sure. You know, who knows what my team was talking about back there, but were they thinking ahead, trying to guess at who you come out with in response to who's next? So we'll see what Tommy decides to pick and come up with here, our player there. But
yeah, it's going to be interesting too to see how Garrett also is getting tagged as how LG is going to respond and bounce back from that last round there. You know, he's going to come out fighting. And give it the best shot he can, which I know he will. I know Garrett very well. So it's interesting how round 3 goes here.
So you were correct. Samus, of the two options, is the choice that comes out. He's been playing Inkling most of the year, but I think Samus is kind of the more so bread and butter. And he has done well with Inkling thus far, but I also think this is a better matchup. I also think Samus has a little bit more versatility in the next matchup as well.
Yeah. I
assuming it gets there. Little Mac could very well 6-stock with his punch ability.
I would say once he gets a knockout.
Yeah, and then go over 100.
Seeing big count going back and forth there, kind of trying to figure out how each other's play style is. I feel like once after like usually the first stock is taken, like you can kind of figure out like where your opponent's at, kind of guess where they're going to be. It's kind of hard also when you have one stock, so you try to get that first stock right away, so then you kind of feel a little bit better going into the next round. There we go.
Yeah, and you can tell the Samus is trying to get a little bit of space so that they can use a little bit of their range. However, Little Mac is doing a very good job of eating the space. As there's another game going on behind us, if you can't hear that through the...
Yeah, I'm sitting right next to you, and I did not hear what you said.
Yeah, no. Little Mac is eating up the space, though, not allowing Samus to get a lot of range. And that's been beneficial, so...
Yeah, so that's where the range part comes out of Samus and stuff, you know, like, you gotta try to make sure you get close contact and make sure that we get those punches to land, you know. Still kind of far away from the knockout punch. Taking a look at that down there to the bottom left. Seeing how we can utilize that for our favor.
Samus just not grabbing these grabs right now. I'm going to double saying the word grabs, but...
Both kind of moving pretty quickly. Trying to get the better leverage on one another.
Now, is Go something that you can charge up?
The what?
Is Go something that you can charge up for Little Mac? Because that's what it seemed like he was doing right there.
Yeah, I believe you can you can hold your punch up and then like it builds the momentum up. And yeah, if you're close enough, you can hit off. But now he's got his KO, so let's see how he uses it here.
KO, not Go. I think that's a different character, but yeah, I mean same sort of deal. Oh, but yeah, that's the thing with KO.
I was gonna say you gotta be patient when you're using that too. You only get one shot.
So just like we said, you take 2 right back, and now it's 4v3.
You never know. Both teams are gonna keep battling, so you're gonna figure out how it goes there. It's going to be interesting, honestly, with my team, see who they're going to send out next, you know.
Yeah.
There's maybe 1 or 2 options they probably do against Samus. But then it's also true, like, you guys already have that next advantage when you get that 1 stock, then you know who you can send out for that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, what you just mentioned there, that counter pick is so crucial in the Smash Crew Battle format.
Yeah, and it's, like I said, okay, so we're going out with Ryan here. He has, like, 1 or 2 characters, so usually he can go with Yoshi, or he'll go with... Honestly, we got to see what the other game's going on here, too. It seems to be pretty exciting, so... but I'm fairly confident he'll probably come out here with Yoshi here, so... But... do we have people in the chat? Any questions for us? You know, like, we can keep going, but... want to hear from the people that are here watching. Any questions you guys may have, or... who's there, you know?
Yeah. Feel free to tune in so that we can see who's watching, see who's cheering us on.
And I don't know about you, but I'm usually we're usually behind the teams or whatnot in the moment and stuff. So like, Budget Viking, how you guys doing on this fine? You know, it's a great day, Budget. It's a great day. So
it's a great day anytime that you can get in person and play an esports event. You know.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's too like one of the biggest things, like being in person for those matches. You know, like I know it's a lot of things.
Especially Smash.
Especially Smash. I don't know for many of you out there that don't know, but playing Smash online is not very ideal, and sometimes it's really, really just not fun.
I mean, really, any of these games, playing when you can see the opponent physically You know, we play a lot of games online, so it's a lot different when you're playing in person. You can look somebody in the eyes and play against them. You know, these guys, their cameras are on either side of your screen, but they are sitting directly next to each other.
Right next
as we can see them fist bumping before they go on, things like that. So
yeah, and you guys might have heard the cinnamon chants. That's Yoshi's name. His name is Cinnamon.
Oh, okay.
So
his tag there, is that Japanese?
Yes.
Did he see a Japanese major? Just wondering.
No. So I actually just found out that that's what he writes his name as.
Okay.
I guess I really just wasn't paying attention throughout the year with the many other things that you know that we do.
So I'm not sure for our guy if it's his major, but I believe so, because him and one of our other players traveled to Japan and study abroad last semester.
Oh, wow.
So it is a double Japanese name matchup here.
That's very interesting. Like, who would have thought that that's kind of like this would be the
Right?
matchup and stuff. Like, just looking at the name, you know, we have everything else going on. But both kind of really trying to get after one another. The projectiles are kind of going from both sides. Yoshi with his egg and Samus with the rockets and his blast, I guess you would say.
Yeah. I think this Yoshi is a really good pick and is doing a really great job of eating up the space. We talked about it a little bit with the Little Mac, but Samus wants to have a little bit of space. And Yoshi has just been on top of Samus the entire time, trying to finish off this stock. However, will fall out there. And in the Smash world, we say we take those. From the Mount Union standpoint, we'll take it.
So it'll be interesting. We got to make sure that Cinnamon here can take the stock here. Going down 3-1 isn't ideal, but 3-2 put yourself in a better situation.
For sure, for sure. It's always cool, you know, if you're somebody who isn't used to the Smash scene. It's such a technical game, and a really good up smash there from Yoshi to finish it off with 2 stocks remaining. But it's such a technical game where, you know, if you're just a casual player, it feels like button mashing.
Yes, 100%.
But once you actually get into the game, like these characters, these players are planning moves ahead. Like, hey, I think they're going to do this, so I'm going to grab and down smash, or I'm going to whatever. And it's just crazy. I mean, I was always like, oh, you know, I'm above average in my friend group in Smash.
Same as well.
And then you start to play against your team. I'm sure you experience the exact same thing, and it's, oh man.
And it's like, can you please stop grabbing me?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Where I would go against my housemates when I was in college, and one of my buddies was really good because he literally would just sit down and take the control and just rub his hand across all the controls and move like closer to you. And it's like, he would win somehow. And I'm like, I don't understand that. But mostly we didn't do 1v1s. It would always be like the big like 5 Battlefield, like people going at it. But we got an interesting matchup coming up here, going 3-2, Mount Union up 1. Let's take a look at a chat here. So AJ Man Mom from pick me up, I'm scared. I don't know if your mom's in the chat, but maybe she'll just come pick you up then. Shady, that's one of our Rocket League players at BW. Showing hype for BW here. Verso, L Directors. Okay, all right, Verso, I see you. Eat a quesadilla. All right. We haven't got to the quesadilla yet, you know. We've been it's been a long day here at Game Arena.
Verso saw our boy Connor walking up and knows it's Pikachu time, as well as Myers Gang. That is one of our other players, I believe, or family group. So thank you for watching. And looks like maybe a little bit of a technical issue here.
Yeah, maybe too many controllers connected. Maybe I know that we're having issues with that earlier.
Maybe.
So maybe restart? I'm not sure how this works.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they're just going to restart. So they'll exit out here, but
I don't know about you, but I'm excited for this matchup.
Oh yeah.
Like I know that Cinnamon and Air, right? Yep, Cinnamon and Air have gone at it. And the 2 times that we have played, and they're real competitors, you know, like they really go back and forth with each other. So it's really going to be interesting to see how this shapes up.
Yep, for sure. I know Yoshi played really strong against us in our first matchup of the year. I know we weren't very happy with that matchup, but it was very early in the year, and so here's the rematch to end this first series.
So both are going to be quick, both are very tiny, both have the projectiles, so
this is going to be a fast matchup.
It's also going to be who can be patient and like time stuff up perfectly.
And so for me personally, when I've been playing Smash, Pikachu is the character that I've picked up the most. I've been trying to learn as much as I can here from Connor. He's just at a crazy other level, but Pikachu is the character that I know the best about. So he's going to try to get in, get his combo game going, get the grab, down smash, neutral air, things like that, and kind of getting those, we call them rat loops within our program. But Connor is just a very strong Pikachu. So, but yeah, this is a very fairly even matchup. Mount just currently has the one stock advantage, but Pikachu is a fairly light character. So if Yoshi can put one together, you can knock Pikachu off.
So it kind of just got slowed down. It's just kind of like I said earlier, like Ryan's gonna play kind of real methodical. They want to make sure that he gets his space too, so that he can throw his projectiles and whatnot. And also like kind of punch to go close too. And as you kind of see, both of them can kind of both do those same things.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I know you were talking about earlier saying how like you picked up Pikachu and stuff. Would you have picked up Pikachu if Air wasn't in the program and he wasn't mainly Pikachu?
I don't know, because I love Pokemon. I love Pikachu specifically, but Air being somebody that I'm able to watch on a regular basis definitely impacted me. You know, I actually, when I first bought the game of Smash, not long after I started out as director, I bought Steve because I love Minecraft. And then Steve was banned basically a week later. Yep. So then I was like, all right, well, that was a waste of money. But from the old Smash games, I was usually Captain Falcon. But that's not a character that I've found liking here in Ultimate. But Pikachu is able to get the dash attack there, take that stock, but also is very low on stock himself.
There you go. Now it's back to even. You know, like punch for punch. You know.
And it's Smash. You never know what can happen. Sometimes you can get a weird down spike and things like that. But we talked about it's a very technical game. These guys know the game at a technical level, and it's really cool to see these characters who know their combos, know their matchups, just be able to try to learn to the individual, learn how their opponent wants to play the matchup, because you know, not all Yoshis are the same, not all Pikachus are the same, etc. So.
Yeah, and also too, I don't know about you, but like I think with Smash players is so much different the way they prep too. You know, like I don't know like about your Smash, but I have to kick my Smash players out of the arena sometimes.
Oh yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
You got go get some sleep. Like the matchup will be there tomorrow, practicing will be there tomorrow. Like go do homework, go do all that stuff. Obviously, like homework, like college comes first stuff. Like they're really like in there all the time. So
yeah, these guys video review all the time together. They're in the lab working with each other. You know, they set up their practice days where they're just playing online. Then they have practice days where they're playing with each other, working on specific. Hey, I want to try out this thing, but for some reason it shouldn't work, and sometimes that ends up working out into different things. So, like for Connor Pikachu, he's worked a lot on his understage things. And we haven't seen it much here in this set, but we've seen a couple understage thunders, but he's worked on his understage, his ability to basically move from one end to the other so that it's versatile. You don't know exactly which ledge he's going to come up on.
Sorry, sometimes when I'm here in the moment, like just watching and stuff, sometimes you just don't know what to say because like you're just like so caught through watching it. So like,
there's a great down smash there by Yoshi. Evens it up 1v1, and now while Yoshi's at a high percentage, anything can happen. Yoshi strings a couple hits together. It's fairly even. So
kind of like how you said earlier, you said like Pikachu is a light character. Not saying that Yoshi's much lighter, but that also could play to advantage here going forward. But it seems as though his Air's edge guarding very, very well.
Pikachu will get the dash attack to knock it away. So down to the last stock. In game one here. Works out for my team with Mount Union, but I would not be surprised if we're here for a third set.
I'm fully expecting a third set. You know, the way that both our teams play, like we know each other very well. Like I said, we're no strangers to each other. You know, aside from like the esports side of it, we're also from the athletic conference side of it. But it's very, very good matchup, like we said earlier and whatnot.
Yeah. So looking here in the chat, we also had Budget Viking 5 checking in. Talking about how hard game prep for Smash is, especially if you don't know what your opponents are running. And that's very true. And that's one of the things that we benefit from having played each other is we know what characters you typically run. The problem is you don't know who's going to go in and when they're going to go in. And especially in a format like this, you do basically a blind pick. So you tell the tournament organizer, hey, we're going to put in this person. And then they do the same. And then it's then you both go. It's not like hey, you go sit down, and then, hey, you go sit down, because whoever sits down first, then you know who's in.
Yeah.
So.
Especially because you've seen the person so far that's going to play, and like they go to sit down and then they play a completely different character. So that's why it helps with double blind, so that you're going out there and making sure that you're going against like the integrity of the game. You know, like that's part of like Smash is the integrity of that. Next question, Luigi. How's Bethel's game going? Who did Bethel play?
Bethel, I think, is against Manchester right now, and I don't know for sure. We don't have a very good view over there. However, based on noise, I would think it's in Manchester's favor right now, because we can tell who's cheering, but I don't know directly their score at the moment. Both Verso and Budget Viking talking about in-person Lan Air, Lan Connor, our Pikachu. And Pikachu is definitely a character that enjoys the in-persons.
Yes.
The combo game is very much easier offline. So here we got the bracket. So you can see so far Mount Union the only one taking it out of chalk, basically. Yeah. And really 2v1s or 2-1s on both bottom brackets.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I would say, like, that's what we're saying. Like, any given day, like, in esports and gaming or even just in Smash, you know, like, it depends how you're feeling that day. Like, everything that you do up until game time matters.
Yes.
You can't just show up and, like, play and that's it. You know, like, it's not like where you're playing a sport and, like, you have the athletic ability that you can just show up and, like, maybe be faster than the other guy or not. Like, no. You have to, there's actual preparation each day that you have to come into, like, getting in the mind right set or get into the right mindset, getting into all this. But as you can see, like, from the top, like, Manchester and Bethel are going right now. And then, obviously, us with BW and Mountain Union. Whoever wins those ones will go into the finals tomorrow around, I think, 2 o'clock, right? 2 p.m.?
I believe so. Yeah. That sounds right. But got to take it one game at a time, so I'm not looking too far ahead.
Oh, no, not for us. For the viewers going for tomorrow.
But I mean, you can do the same with Alma, but I got to give props to Cleveland State. They played a heck of a game. They have a very strong team. I know that the team worked their butts off all week preparing for Cleveland State specifically, knowing that we had to try to get through them in order to have a chance to keep moving on. And so they played a really, really strong game. Obviously, didn't come out the way that they wanted. But, yeah, for us, that was a very tough opponent.
Yeah. I was saying, and even, too, like, when we finished our match, we were able to watch you guys a little bit, kind of go back and forth, you know, with Cleveland State also being 9-0. And what was your guys' record again?
7-2, I believe.
7-2. Yeah, so still 2 very strong
Our only
teams,
losses were you and Cleveland State during the regular season.
Yeah. So, like, it's very, like, heavy side of the bracket on this side. You know, it's a lot of good Smash playing over here, as well as the other side, too. You know, like, I feel like for GLEC, the Smash conference is very pretty much balanced across the board. And, like I said earlier, like, any given day, so, like, it's who's going to prep the most, who's going to want to be able to strategize the most, you know, and, like, who's going to make those adjustments in between games. You know, like, the downtime that we have now, I know that both our teams right now are talking with one another. Well, not each other, but, like, inside their own team and trying to figure out what's next, like, what's the best case scenario that we can do, and then trying to predict those matchups going forward after the first people go out.
And for those of you who don't know, the Great Lakes Esports Conference expanded. It's above 20 teams. I don't know exactly how many are Smash. I think Smash is 24.
Yeah.
The other, it's somewhere to 20 to 24 teams per game, basically. And I know that Smash has definitely been all of the games have been a tough road. But when you have a 20-plus team conference and you're down to the final 8, you're getting good teams no matter what. The top 8 games, and that's why you see 2-1s down on our sides of the bracket. And really, it's a fairly even Smash conference across the board. Manchester is the only one that's kind of just they have the bar right now. Everybody else is trying to catch up and get to the bar, and you never know. I mean, like we said, once you're at LAN, anything can happen.
Everything's off the tables. Whatever bracket predictions that you might have had or whatever like that, they're not going to be correct. They might be correct, and good for you, but
so
it's never guaranteed.
Is this your Yoshi?
Yes, this is the Yoshi.
All right, so you have your Yoshi. We're pulling out our Pokemon trainer here. He did not play in the first set, but we have 2 different chatters. I know cheering for him in the chat, as I know that's 2 of his family members. So we are going to lead off with Ryan, our Pokemon trainer, and Pokemon Trainer, another tough character to prepare for because they have basically 3 different characters in one that they can switch out between at any given point.
And I feel like the GLEC's those trainer Pokemon trainers. I don't know about how you guys' opponents work, but after we played you guys week 1, I think we played like maybe 3 or 4 different Pokemon trainers as we kept going on. I think Muskingum had a Pokemon trainer.
I think we only played one.
We only played one.
Maybe there were more and they didn't play, or
maybe they watched the VOD and saw that it was a good matchup.
I mean, Ryan is a junior in our program, has been a very strong staple of our program. Also, one of the guys who jumps in the booth often. So when we stream, if he's not playing, he's typically in the booth, and you can hear him commentating our games. So not the way it works with GLEC. They want everybody to be together to play, which is fine for us because they love to bounce off ideas and get better. But Yoshi with a different matchup here. Still a Pokemon, but
still a Pokemon.
Different matchup. we are a team full of Pokemon, for sure.
So it's going to be interesting here to see how both characters go and like how the Pokemon trainer is going to react and when they go up to that Charizard next, you know, because it goes with, what was the first one?
Squirtle, Ivysaur, Charizard.
Yeah, Charizard. So those are 3 different levels.
Yep. And there are 3 different player character types, you know. Ivysaur is kind of the neutral one, especially the one that Ryan likes to use. He's a little bit heavier. Squirtle's a very light character. So very quick, good at combos, kind of more similar to Pikachu, but definitely a lighter character. Ivysaur is kind of that middle ground, and then Charizard, when you have the opponent at a high percentage or when you're at a high percentage, Charizard's the heavy. So then you want to be able to do that so that you can get a stronger punch, so that you can survive longer if you're heavier. And so that's why you see, that's kind of the way that you'll see this rotation. As Ryan gets the up smash, but he's at a heavier percentage, so he's going to stay here at the Charizard.
Yeah, probably until he gets eliminated right now, probably switch back and whatnot.
Yeah, and depending on what percentage your Yoshi is at will determine if he decides to stick with Squirtle or if he decides to switch to Ivysaur. That's kind of the way that game flow typically works out.
So moving back and forth here. Ryan Cinnamon's trying to figure out how we get this last stock here.
Yeah, I think both our players are Ryan here.
They're what?
I think both players are named Ryan here.
They both are Ryan. Yeah, that's why I was trying to specify when you said it earlier. It's great we got a Ryan on Ryan matchup here, right? Didn't think we get that today, but there we go.
Really good up smash. I think it was an up tilt and then an up smash there by Yoshi to be able to finish out that stock. And as we said, because Yoshi's up about 30%, Ryan went straight to the Ivysaur instead of messing with Bulbasaur. It's also one of the ones that he's a little bit more comfortable with.
Right back to the Charizard. Do you think he's more comfortable on the Charizard than he is on any other one?
So he comes from a Bowser background.
Okay.
And so he's definitely comfortable with the heavier play style as opposed to the lighter play style. But yeah, and as Verso mentioned in the chat, this character was made for Ryan. That's how it felt like, you know. He started out with Bowser and was solid with Bowser, but he's a big Pokemon fan. So for him to really be able to dive into this character, especially from a technical standpoint, it's been really strong for him. So tries to get the Flare Blitz, doesn't work out, and Yoshi will punish. And so now, right back into it, Baldwin Wallace up 2-1 on stock.
I'll say also too for Ryan, you can't get too comfortable. You know, like maybe up by 1 stock right now. It's like 96%, but he's got to try to get a little something here. You know, like when you're at the stage and you're up for the stocks, like you want to try to get something. Even if it's like 1%, you want to get just a little bit of damage, so you know that when you come back with that last life, you have a little bit of advantage.
So we're watching here to see any next move, and that is going to be the kill there. And Ryan will start off with the Squirtle here. I think knowing that he hasn't used it much, wants to try to change things up a little bit. However, I wouldn't be surprised to see a switch, yep, there to the Ivysaur. But Yoshi doing a very good job of keeping him up in the air because that is Yoshi's strong suit, and Yoshi's going to be able to finish off that stock.
Yeah, I think the good thing that Ryan did there was also keep pressure too. You know, like when you take that stock right away, or not right away, when you take that stock and you go 1v1 at that point, you want to make sure that you keep applying that pressure and going on, you know?
Yep. So really good job by Ryan beating Ryan there.
Yeah, Ryan. I want to say
I had to do it.
I want to say we could have put a bet on it and said we were known Ryan would have won after that.
Yeah, had to do it for sure. So we'll see what Mount Uni decides to come out with their counter pick here against the Yoshi. It's really tough for me to guess, not knowing who they're guesstimating might come out next. You know, because from a Mount Union standpoint, your goal is to try to clean up this last stock and then have a straight up 3v3 in the next matchup. So looks like we are going to bring back Air and go with Pikachu here in this matchup. We saw him play pretty well against Yoshi.
Yeah.
It looks like your Ryan saw Connor sit down and was like, oh. But no, both characters played very well in the last set. Our Connor was able to come away with it, but it was a very strong ending. So we'll see. You know, your goal from your perspective, Ryan, is to take one stock at least.
Yeah, at least one stock. And that's what, when you're in the situation, you want to make sure, because that goes back to that team advantage, you know, like you go right back and be like, oh, it's 6v6 stock or 6-on-6 for the score for stocks. But if you, it's dramatically different if you go into a map and it's 6 versus 5 stocks.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, so Yoshi will SD one more time here.
Scenes for Manchester, Bethel, for those that asked earlier, they only need one more.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the score is, but they need one more.
Yeah.
From what we can tell from people yelling in the background. So again, and like we said, your goal is to take one stock. Pikachu's goal here is to take one stock without losing any. So he's going to play a fair bit more defensive, even though like you would think like, oh, you have a 3v1, you have the lead, and actually the scoreboard is wrong up at the top. It is Baldwin Wallace with 7 stocks. But that is Pikachu's goal, is to try to take one without losing one. So he'll play a bit more defensive than you would think, even though it's a 3v1 stock. It's a team game. It's a team method. So.
Yeah, and you're going to see too, like with Cinnamon having one stock, he's like you said, you're going to play a little bit more protected, a little bit more methodical and stuff. You're not going to see like when it was 2v2 stocks in the previous match against Pokemon Trainer. Like he's on one, they be slow, see how Air reacts with Pikachu, and then try and find the right moment. Whereas Air took it at the right moment. So.
Yeah. Air found the right moment to get his, it looked like a dash attack there. Or, yeah. I think it was a dash attack. So Connor is going to come away with that stock, cheering off to our teammates back here in the back, and we'll even it up now at 6-6. So just like that, it's back to basically a 3-stock v 3-stock, and that's the interesting thing with crew battles is it doesn't matter if you're at 200%. If you can take out the final character, then you go right back to 0% with that stock.
So it looks like we're going to send in Hammer here. He does have about 1 or 2 different characters that he plays. Obviously, his main one is Sora.
Okay.
But we'll see if he pulls out the Ridley here as well, too. But I don't think he will, because it's Ridley being a much slower character.
Yeah.
But I fully predict that Hammer will go with Sora here.
Yeah, and if it is a Sora, we have a Sora character on our roster, so it's definitely a player familiar to Connor, especially because Sora is one of our players here on our roster at LAN. And so definitely experience, but like we said, everybody plays it different. And I know sometimes I've talked to different Smash players who say, I hate to play against, and then they name the character that their best friend plays because they get so used to how that person plays. You know, like if Connor were to play against a different Pokemon trainer, it would be a vastly different experience than he used to with Ryan. Like, yeah, he knows what PT can do from a technical standpoint. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes.
It's gonna it's gonna be definitely interesting because you would say that Air's probably your most veteran player in your program. Right?
Yeah.
I would say B is probably one of our most veterans too. I know we're in year 2 now. B's been here since the start, and he's really improved his game since last year too. So it's kind of showed throughout the season as well.
Yeah, Connor, one of our senior leaders here with his Pikachu. Gets 2 back airs in a row there, and 3, another one. But both of these characters have very strong recovery ability, especially Sora. So Connor won't just be able to back air him off the stage like he can do to some other characters. We'll be able to pick up a lot of damage points for it, but you know, as somebody who plays Pikachu, hitting a back air is satisfying. It's satisfying.
So once you hit that one move that you know that you've been kind of working on and practicing with, like it gives you a little bit of satisfaction to, like throughout the match, and then you're kind of on a little bit of a high going through the rest of the match, knowing that hey, I can hit this. I just got to get him in this situation. It's gonna be interesting to see how he uses his abilities here with Fire, Ice, and Thunder.
Yeah, and Thunder is a very good option right there. when the character is basically off the stage. Thunder is very good. And actually, Sora won't be able to recover there. And first stock will go to Pikachu, and next stock will go right back.
So it's gonna be, and they both play the edge very well too. Like they both play off stage and try to recover as well.
Here's one of those rat loops. And just like that, 50%. And that's the thing is like Pikachu's individual attacks won't do much damage, but when you get somebody like Connor who knows his combos, gets his combos very well, you can hack them up tightly into a group, and then all of a sudden you end up at one of those loops and you're at 50%.
Yeah. And that's something that I probably know as well with B too. Like when you get in the rat loop for Pikachu, you know with B here kind of likes to juggle, like using the key sword and all that, and then kind of like down B and all that. Both trying to keep the distance because they both know that if they get close to each other, that either one of them could do a great amount of damage.
And that's the tough thing for the Pikachu. Like your goal was to try to get in close and then get in the air. And Sora's a character that is very strong in the air. So then now you're relegated to just being in close. However, will hit the forward smash there to secure that stock.
It's interesting to see how he recovers here. He's been in these situations before, so it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back. And there it is, battling off stage again, you know?
Yeah, and I think what worked with Sora's recovery not going well is Connor was timing his back airs so well that Sora had already used jump and used his up airs and things like that. This is going to be a tough, good angles by Connor. Like I said, he's been working on that understage stuff. Tries to time up another forward smash, doesn't get it. Doesn't get the down smash either. We'll get that dash attack. Stocks are so crucial right here. Whichever way this goes, this next stock goes, it's going to be huge towards the outcome of this game. It's not going to determine it, but it will be huge.
We've seen it a couple times today, so. Would like be here to get at least one more stock to set up whoever we send in next.
Yeah, Pikachu at 120%. Could happen at any point.
Any point. Takes one up B, one down B, and maybe Pikachu's going to take it up. So there's the under the stage thing that you said was practicing on. And there we go, right?
Stock.
All right, let's see here.
The score up at the top was still backwards. The Pikachu Connor on the left is for Mount Union on the right. Connor was just waiting for him to come off the edge, and that back air.
He's still up there.
And that's Smash has those weird animations like that.
There was a couple times this season where like that happened like 3 times in one game, and it was against not like a Bowser or like a heavy character or anything like that, you know.
And Sora is not necessarily a heavy character either.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like so, like.
But it's also a back air, so it's like, why would you give that animation?
Yeah. Nice counter coming off the edge guard there.
Dash attack will kill again. So Connor takes the advantage, gives Mount Union the potential counter pick after this.
And it's still backwards.
Stocks are still backwards, but it's all good. As long as we keep telling you and you know from a viewer's perspective at home. But yeah, Connor, Connor is able to come out, Land Air is able to come out and secure that one from Mount Union. But like I said, I would not be surprised here if this is a situation where Baldwin Wallace is able to come back. These are 2 very strong teams.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see who we send out here to match up with Pikachu and whatnot.
All right, there we go. We got an answer in the chat. Budget Viking.
What does it say? Oh, the screen flashes means it kills no DI. I hate it because it always lies to me. Oh my goodness.
So apparently the red screen means that if you don't DI, it's going to kill.
Okay, that
So against the CPUs, it's going to kill.
yeah, against the CPUs is going to kill.
But
so
yeah, learn something new every day, right?
something new every day. All right, so we're sending Goomba, Benny the Great, on Twitter is his name. So it's going to be interesting to see which character he goes with, because he also has been trying to figure out which one he wants to go with the most, you know. Mostly he uses Dr. Mario in this sense. So, but there's a couple other ones, again, like I'm not sure which ones he will be using, but I know his strongest one is Dr. Mario.
Stop battle! Pikachu! Dr. Mario!
So Dr. Mario, not a character that we have, but a character that I think Connor has played against.
What was that?
I believe that Connor has played against a Dr. Mario that used to be a part of the program.
Oh, Steve.
Yep, Steve used to be a Dr. Mario, and I'm fairly certain that him and Connor would have played a little bit, but that was a little bit ago. So,
yeah, and shout out to Ryan, or Steven, actually not Ryan, Steven, shout out to Steven. I got to know him a little bit through Hall of Fame and stuff, so trying to carry on, hopefully having a good Dr. Mario in the year, you know?
they're getting that back air combo, trying to walk Dr. Mario off the stage. Ooh, couldn't get the down spike. Still a little bit too low percentage, I think. Gets the up tilt into a back air, and then the forward smash. Like I said, Pikachu's my character, so I get an idea what he's trying to do here. Not like I'm nowhere at his good. Connor would easily 3-stock me.
Oh, 100%.
With 0% for me.
I think the biggest thing here too for Benny is like he's got to be thinking, okay, like, you've got to get one here and then give yourself a chance. You know, if one gets taken away, that's fine. You're still in a 3-2 situation where we were last match, which it is right now. So we want to try and make sure that we get at least one more here so that he's not putting himself into a corner going into the next round.
There's down throw into Nair. Tried to get the up tilt, but couldn't get it. He likes to use T-Jolt to approach, so he uses T-Jolt basically to force the opponent to either shield or jump. Really good DI there from air. And then shields through it and is able to get the up tilt into some back airs. However, Mario is going to be able to get that smash attack. So
it was good with the upbeat there. So now Benny's down by 1 stock here. Kind of the same scenario as last thing. Who do you think you sent out here?
I don't know. We went PT first, Pikachu next, Dr. Mario. I mean, right now you could think like, you ride the hot hand of Zelda. However, Samus has also played in this series so far. We have a lot of other things available. I would think, based on how Zelda's played thus far, it'll likely be Zelda. But yeah, plenty of options. We have plenty of different characters and people here for this game. So it looks like it will be Zelda. Matt, okay. One of our freshmen on our team. Freshman, Zelda. So he came up huge in the CSU game.
I would say freshman
as a
plays.
freshman,
Okay.
making plays. So from Louisville High School. Shout out Louisville. We actually do have 2 players on the team from Louisville.
So it is actually a freshman on freshman matchup.
Oh, okay.
Benny's from Georgia. He's from the Georgia Smash team. And he's been with us since the school year started, and he's kind of just bought into the program, you know, like just doing the work and stuff, being around the guys and stuff, you know. I would say that the Smash team has a pretty good, like, synergy and whatnot. I feel like that's just with the Smash community in general, though. I know we touched on it earlier. For sure. But, all right, here we go, going into one of the last sets of round 2 with Dr. Mario being Goomba and, sorry, what was you guys' name again? I cannot hear a thing.
Yeah, I cannot hear. There's a lot of screaming going on. But it is Dr. Mario versus Zelda.
So with Benny playing Dr. Mario, wanting to make sure to try to keep the distance a little bit by throwing the throws.
It looks like Zelda's goal is to try to use the reflect to knock back some of those pills. Very even neutral game so far.
So they both try and kind of just fill each other out and see how they kind of react to one another's moves.
it's a Zelda's Phantom that you can see, that little sword character that he builds up. He can hold on to that build and then basically charge it up in a way, like let it build up all of its armor, its sword, its shield, everything. Or you can release it right away, where it's going to be weaker, it's going to have a weaker attack, but then you're able to kind of time it up however you want. So Dr. Mario does get that stock, does get that finish. Zelda will get Mario off stage, but not able to do much with it. However, that one will.
That was good by your Zelda character coming out after being knocked out. And you know that's about that getting off the map.
Lots of neutral here going on. However, obviously, Dr. Mario down to the last set, so trying to save what he can percentage-wise. Up smash will do a lot of damage, but will not finish. And that's still with the stock in the bank. This is the scenario where you don't have a follow-up teammate, where you can play a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, knowing that your opponent does have one stock, you can do pretty much what you feel like is the best to get him off the map. When you have the one stock, though, you're trying to make sure you conserve your life a little bit, make sure you're not getting as much damage done. But it seems as though that will be it.
No, not able to finish up with 2 stocks remaining. So both games went down to 1 and 2 stocks left in the game. And so without knowing an official word, it looks like Manchester won on the other stream for those of you who are still interested in that. So I think we'll probably, once they have some time to put the info in, might be able to get it into the bracket. But regardless, from the looks of things, it would appear that it's going to be a Mount Union versus Manchester final tomorrow.
That's what it's looking like.
And a Baldwin Wallace versus Bethel third place game tomorrow, or later today,
yeah,
I believe.
7 p.m.
as
I
well.
believe.
Yep, so here we go. Look at that. Already.
There we go. Updated already.
Already updated for us.
Yeah. But that was a very good match. It's the third time we faced each other this year, so we kind of knew what was going to be happening, going back and forth. They're all very close matches. So got to be proud of the team, what they've done this year, like on my end and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Us being the second year, like last year we were at the quarterfinals. We faced Manchester first round, got knocked out. This year to make it to semis is very big. And then you guys were in the finals last year as well, too, right?
We were in the semifinals against Manchester.
Oh, you went okay, so you guys
but we
played right
2-1'd them. We took a series, and last year it was the only set or series that they set. I can't say the word.
Lost.
It was the only set that they had lost all year when we 2-1 them last year, and then Valpo, I think, met them in the finals. So yeah, this year on the other side of the bracket. So Mount Union versus Manchester tomorrow in the finals. Baldwin Wallace, Bethel for the third place match. And Bethel, generally I was going to say Baldwin Wallace, you guys, a generally newer program that I feel like you've done a fantastic job with the program.
Thank you.
Having the semifinal Smash team as well as all the other games have played strong as well. And definitely a program that I'm hoping to be seeing around. For those of you who don't know, Jake and I jumped on this. We are, I would say, fairly good friends.
Yes.
Relatively new to each other. But good friends outside of the game.
I started a year after AJ did, after he took over for the great Derek Spinell. Gassed him up a little bit in the chat. But it's definitely something that we've kind of been collabing with on different things. You know, like in this industry, you got to have friends and people that kind of can know and understand. Pikachu was crazy. But you got to have friends in this industry. And I know with AJ and me kind of being fresh in 1 and 2 of our years, first and second years for us, that this isn't going to be the last time you guys hear from us. So, but we are going to send it to break per the producers and whatnot. But it was great chatting with you guys, and glad you guys got to see a good Smash matchup.
Yeah, thanks everyone who tuned in and watched, and thanks to Jake for joining me on here. And stay tuned to this and GLEC GG for more games from the rest of the tournament. And signing off, I'm AJ.
And I'm Jake.
And see ya.